When I was 16, I made a bucket list of everything I wanted to do and achieve in my life. Everything from skydiving to bungee jumping to living in another country for more than 4 months to starting a YouTube channel and having over 100,000 subscribers. Like, I put it all in this very dramatic list that I wanted to manifest. And the crazy thing is, by the age of 20, I had completed 80% of the things on my list. And so I cannot stress enough how powerful it is to define to yourself what you want to do. Things that might even seem illogical to you right now. Like, I could not have imagined having a YouTube channel. I could not have imagined being interviewed for TV. I could not have imagined being in the national newspaper. I could not have imagined just going into a bookshop and being able to pick up a book that I had written. But I wrote those things down, and part of me, my authentic self, really wanted those things to be present in my life. And so through defining it, through starting to believe that I could make it happen, kind of planted this seed for all the actions that followed to bring those things into my life. Today, I want to review my original impossible list for the first time in 4 years. I think I last looked at it in 2020, and just kind of inspire you guys to create a list of all these incredible things that you want to do and to regularly check in with it. I'm then going to show you some of the things that I have added to this list as 24-year-old Jade, with different ideas about my life and what I want to create in the rest of my life. But my hope is that by the time this video ends, you can comment down below 3 things that you would love to manifest into your future life, and you can use this comment section as accountability for that to happen. And if you commented on any of these videos up here, go check your comments, because maybe those things have come true. Before I jump into this video all about setting goals and dreaming big, one of the most amazing platforms to help you actualize your goals is Skillshare. This video is kindly sponsored by Skillshare, and guys, I have made my own class about how to build your creative voice. I've been creating online for over 7 years now, and I've learned so much about the rituals, the mindfulness habits and routines that serve my creative voice. And literally, if you just give your creative endeavors 1 hour a day, you will be mind blown what you can create. My YouTube channel started with me just waking up an hour earlier before school during year 12 so that I could learn how to edit. I would research SEO optimization, and that led me to being able to start an entire YouTube channel. So I really hope my class keeps inspiring you to create and to own the incredible voice that is so valuable to this world and can help people. The world needs your creative voice. If you've never heard of Skillshare, Skillshare is an incredible online learning community where you can learn literally every skill you can think of, from how do I animate on Procreate, like illustrations, how do I edit on Final Cut Pro if I want to become a YouTuber. Summer is the best time for learning new skills, so definitely check out Skillshare with the link in my description if you're interested in 30 days completely free. Only the first 500 people to click the link in my description will get 1 month of Skillshare fully for free. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Let's get into the impossible list. Originally, my impossible list sat on my unjadedjade.com website that I made when I was 17, and kind of what you're meant to do with an impossible list is to post it publicly, because then the idea is it holds you accountable to actually achieving those things. And the difference between an impossible list and a bucket list is that for an impossible list, you try and define your goal in terms of something achievable. So instead of get into running, improve my running ability, you would write something like run a 5K, and then when you complete it, you say how you completed it, where you completed it, and then you iterate upon that goal. So rather than just running a 5K, your new goal might be run 5K in under 25 minutes. Because bucket lists often sit on a shelf somewhere, never to be seen again, never to be made actionable, and so an impossible list, you're making it public, and also you're showing people how you're going to iterate on those goals so that they feel achievable to you. But 24-year-old Jade likes Notion, so it's on Notion. Here we go. Okay, so this is the list before I've updated new goals. So I've got to run a 5K. Honestly, I'm not that interested in running a 5K in under 23 minutes now. Like, that just doesn't interest me. Run 50 park runs. I can't lie, I haven't done many park runs since last checking this, so I've probably done like 20 park runs, but I guess across my entire lifetime 50 is a good goal to strive for. That's the equivalent of a year of park runs. Park run is this 5K event that happens in every single park in the UK on a Saturday, and it's like a wonderful community atmosphere. I really love doing park run, but I haven't done them as much recently. Run an organised 10K, I did do that. I run a 15K, run a half marathon. Like right now, that is not something I'm interested in doing. I don't want to destroy my body. I don't want to do the whole training plan. Something that's so crazy about this list is that I made it in 2016, which is when I went vegan for the first time, and I tried to go vegan for 30 days. And now I have been vegan for 8 years. Isn't that mad? Now I can change this to 10 years, I guess. I can now do crow pose confidently. I don't know why I put Chloe Ting's Shreddy Challenge. I did do that. Lockdown really supported me in that goal. I think what's been so fascinating to reflect on with professional and creative goals is how many of these I've just done. I just did it in the last few years. Like, it's the maddest thing. Write a book, create an online course. Like, I created a Skillshare course last year. All these follow accounts, writing a book and publishing it, walking into a bookshop and taking a photo of the book being sold that I've written. I wrote a non-fiction book and published it in 2021. And since then, madness, over 40,000 people have purchased and read that book. I don't think 16-year-old Jade could have really fathomed. 24-year-old Jade is much more interested in writing a fiction novel at some point. That's gonna be on the new list for sure. And Camp NaNoWriMo is National Novel Writing Month, and I'd love to complete this at some point. It's basically you write 2,000 words a day every day of November to try and complete an entire novel in the month of November. So for anyone who's always said they want to write a book, always wanted to write a novel, but they lack accountability, NaNoWriMo helps you finish it in November. Maybe I'll do it this November. Oh my god, maybe I should actually like plan my November around finally doing a NaNoWriMo. I actually really like that idea. Start my own podcast. I'm actually doing that very, very soon, which is crazy. Invent a recipe and publish it somewhere. I feel like that is the least relevant goal to my life now. Like, I don't care about cooking. Like, I can cook, but I have no interest in sharing a recipe with anyone. Like, you don't need me. There are so many chefs, incredible chefs online. Like, it's okay. Oh, unless it's a porridge recipe, then I feel like I would slay in the advice that I could give you on how to make good porridge. All these things, like be in the newspaper, be in the news, be featured on TV. Mad, mad. Mad. This is one that I still really want to do. Give a talk to students from my secondary school or primary school. I was head girl of my secondary school, which was the pride of my life, my pride and joy, wanting to be a good role model. And I just received a message the other day from a girl who was in year 7 when I was head girl. And she was saying that she really looked up to me when she was in year 7. And now she is in year 13 and she is head girl. That just blew my mind with how quickly time flows through our fingertips. The last class who were at that school during the same time that I was at that school are going to be gone next year. It's just, wow. The transience of time. Oh, yeah, I would love to go back to my schools. And like, I grew up in this little hometown. I feel like so many things that I've gone on to do, I had no representation of, like traveling, solo traveling, going to university abroad, having friends from everywhere, starting a YouTube channel, being self-employed, starting your own business, employing people, all of these things. I feel like I've just worked out on my own along the way, and I would love to be that representation for younger students at my schools. Participate in a hackathon, done that, all this language stuff, speak basic Korean. I lived in Korea for a semester, so I learned Korean. Go skinny dipping, dye my hair. I've done these things now. I went skinny dipping for the first time in rural Scotland with my mum. I mean, my mum didn't come skinny dipping with me, but like, she knew I was going to do that. She was like in the cabin and I'm like, okay mum, I'm gonna go swim in the loch. And there was no one there. Like, I could yell into infinity and just no one would have seen me, no one would have looked at me. And it felt like the most liberating thing ever, being in the water, nude, and feeling the loch on my skin. Well, it's not so dramatic, but yeah, I feel like I've never felt more at one with nature than when I was skinny dipping. You guys should try it. It's very un-British. I have become increasingly less British as I have become older. I feel so much more confident in my body and I don't really care who sees it as much. Okay, so these were kind of my original goals for my impossible list, and as you can see, crazily, I've ticked off like most of them. And here is my updated list for 2024 with some more of the goals that feel true to me at this stage of life. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been using this Whoop band for almost 6 months now. And it is the most amazing comprehensive fitness band to tell you about your sleep quality, where you are in your menstrual cycle, resting heart rate, recovery, like all sorts of incredible data. And it's just empowered me with so much self-knowledge about how my body works, how my body responds to different things in life. Like if I sleep with an eye mask, I have 10% better sleep quality than if I sleep without one. And as I continue to age and my body to grow, I would love to keep having this wonderful data for 1 year and then 5 years and into the future. I highly recommend Whoop. It's a monthly subscription and it's amazing. Like I never take this thing off. I want to take an annual comprehensive blood test every year for at least 3 years. It's so easy not to. And like the older I get, the more I value my health and self-understanding of my body. Work with a personal trainer to feel more confident in the gym. I just started working with a personal trainer in small group PT sessions, so it's me and 5 other people, and I just did not know anything about the gym. I didn't know form, like I didn't know how to use weight, and it feels so empowering to have someone giving you exercises, teaching you how to use equipment, and I just want to keep doing this. I should probably put a time here. 1 year? I don't know if I'm gonna be in London for a year for sure. I haven't got a lease for that long, but I'm gonna say a year for now. Meditate and or do yoga at least 6 days a week. Right now I meditate or do yoga pretty much every day and have been doing that consistently for years, so I feel quite confident in my ability to be able to do this at least 6 days a week. Achieve 1 million subscribers on YouTube. You know what, as I get older, the more I have grown on YouTube, the less I care about numbers. Like when you're first starting out, you get so excited by the prospect of numbers, right? Like for me to, when I was 16, to dream of achieving 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, that was, oh my gosh, it seemed like an infinite number. It seemed like that would be the most life-changing thing ever. It felt like I would wake up every single day feeling different. But as I've gotten older and done this, but more and more I realised that numbers don't matter that much. Like I don't care about pursuing growth online in the way that I used to. I care so much more about making content that feels like heartful and authentic and nurtures the current community that I have, and turning it into this crazy, brilliant business. Like I'm just content. I'm so content with where I am with my platforms online and you guys being in this little corner of the internet, and I'm quite happy for it to stay a little corner of the internet. Achieve 500,000 followers on Instagram and TikTok. Give a TED talk. I would love to give a TED talk at some point. It's so interesting reflecting on my journey of public speaking from this list, because when I was 16, I was absolutely terrified of public speaking. Like my friends would know me as like someone who goes up to give a presentation in front of the class and like my hands would physically shake. Like I was such a perfectionist control freak, so I'd be trying to memorize all my lines, and then as I was saying them I would literally physically shake. And I just dreamt of one day being a comfortable and good public speaker who's able to transport messages that move people, and I literally made it like my biggest goal to improve my public speaking skills. Like I joined assemblies at school, I became a head girl, and then through this whole YouTube world was interviewed on panels at VidCon and Summer in the City and all these crazy events, and I just really feel like I'm getting to a point where I could give a TED talk. Like why not? Why not, you know? Fake it till you make it. Like if I believe that I have the confidence to do that, then I will be able to do it. I won't stand there and shake because I believe that I'm meant to be there, and I'm just so proud of how my past self wanted to improve these skills so much and then did it so that present me could shine in all these different ways. Write a fiction book. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do NaNoWriMo. Like I think this could be the year. Start my own podcast, post 50 episodes. That is gonna happen this year for sure. Maybe not these bits, but definitely starting. I finished my undergrad, yay! And I would love to do a master's. Probably not next year, but the year after. Maybe a PhD if it's the right thing for me, who knows? I also have my name published in a real academic paper, which is very special. I worked on a research paper with my professor. I raised a lot of money for charity. I want to keep raising money for charity. I want to start a business, a startup at some point. Like down here, I really feel like I put so much effort into learning about the startup world, learning all the terminology, being able to speak to people and being like, oh, you know, are you Series A? Are you seed? All these like funding terms. I've also been a startup advisor and I would love to be an angel investor one day. And yeah, I just love this whole world of like people creating these little companies into existence and the wonderful hustle that comes with it, the like collaboration, the networking, the whole funding structure. There's just so much interesting stuff in the world of startups, and I will definitely I'll definitely have a startup one day, or be a co-founder, or contribute meaningfully to a big startup. Manifesting. It's like, it's weird because I'm manifesting it, but like I just so deeply believe it. Like it seems illogical at this point right now in my life because I'm not making any tangible action for that to happen, but I just know that it will. I just really trust that. Some more recent ones. Do a yoga teacher training. I really, really want to do this. I love yoga. It makes so much sense. And I always saw myself doing it when I was like 40, but like, why not now? You know? I want to become a proficient tarot card reader. I think I'm already decent because I've been studying the major and minor arcana and the history of tarot the last few months. And I've done readings for myself and readings for friends. But I really love it. It combines so many things that I love, like introspection and reflection, art and mindfulness. So yeah, I want to get better. I want to be able to teach meditation. I want to run an in-person community retreat at some point, like a yoga retreat, women's retreat, LGBTQ+ retreat. I maybe want to get a teacher training and work in a school as a teacher at some point. I definitely want to help improve the education system. This is a huge, huge, huge life goal, and I'm not sure where I want to slot myself in the system to complete that goal yet. But again, I really just trust that that will happen. I also want to attend policy level conversations like at the UN, the UK Gov. And then skills. Again, I have not made any progress in Dutch, but I will at some point do an intensive language course in the Netherlands. I will at some point live in the Netherlands. Again, I trust it, I believe it. I want to become really good at German. I'm actually going to Germany today, like tonight, to go backpacking for the next 3 weeks in Germany, which is really exciting, to practice my German. I want to learn an instrument, but again, making no progress on that. And I want to serve on a Vipassana meditation retreat, and I want to complete a 30-day silent Vipassana. Lots of good travel stuff. And then I added a section of personal goals because I think, if you watch my recent video, you would know I'm thinking so much more right now about internal growth and the kind of growth that is very difficult to put goals to, rather than these external achievements like earn X amount of money, buy a house. But the richest growth and goals of life, things like experience a nurturing, loving, incredible romantic relationship with someone who feels like my life partner. I am lucky enough to have experienced that, and it was the most beautiful thing and something that I never put a goal to. Things like have 5 incredibly difficult conversations that challenge my avoidance. Huge part of growth. Attend Pride, coming out to my parents, like all of these things about owning my sexuality and releasing shame. Experiencing a loving romantic relationship with a woman. Learning about motherhood, children, being a parent. Finding my dream location and where I want to root myself. Learning about alternative house structures to the nuclear family, such as building a life with your friends. There's so much rich learning I want to do in my personal life, and that's where most of my time and attention is currently focused. And then I have these life goals that are kind of more continuous things I want to continue learning or doing. You know, like I just want to really live a mindful, conscious, spiritual, fulfilling life full of love. I want to radiate joy and love wherever possible. I want to be a safe space for people to be their authentic selves, and I just always want to be working in a job or career that makes me happy and helps others or the environment. And I just love Impossible List because going through this list has reminded me of so many of my values and what makes me happy and feel fulfilled. And I feel so motivated to live this life, my life. Like even though I've achieved all these crazy things that I wanted to be for my entire life and I achieved them early, I'm just increasingly realizing that so much of the richness of life comes from things that cannot have goals directly set to them, and allowing for also the spontaneity of life to come. Life is this beautiful balance between making your goals, defining clearly what you want, striving for it, making it happen, but also embracing the beauty and spontaneity of your life and finding contentedness in the mundane things of every day, no matter where you are in your journey to completing said goals. My friend said this quote to me recently, and it's changed my entire perspective of myself and my life. And her quote was, "I am inspired by the path that I am walking." You don't necessarily have to have achieved anything that you want to achieve. You don't have to be at the end point of the journey. You don't even have to know what that end point is. But you personally have to feel inspired by your own path. And as long as you're living by your values, as long as you're continuing to self-introspect and think about what you want to do and why, then you should be inspired by your path. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would love to hear 3 things that you want to achieve in this lifetime that are on your impossible list, but try and make them as realistic as possible. Maybe you can even have a timeline that you ideally love to achieve them. They can be wild and seemingly illogical. They can be things that are already seeming like they're cropping up into your life. But as always, I want this to be a space of just inspiration and for you to come and be your authentic highest self. So let your highest self speak through the comment section. And yeah, I just feel so grateful for this corner of the internet, and I'm grateful for my 16-year-old self allowing me to believe that I could create it. Huge thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video, and if you guys want to go check out my class on building your creative voice, then you can get a 30-day free trial in the description below. Sending you so much love and Gen Z finger hearts. Bye.